What if there were one country where every sunrise revealed a masterpiece, every cobblestone street echoed centuries of history, and every meal felt like a celebration of life itself? A place where ancient empires, Renaissance genius, dramatic coastlines, and snow-capped mountains exist within a single unforgettable journey. In 2026, Italy continues to enchant millions of travelers, not simply because of its beauty, but because it has mastered the rare art of making every visitor feel as though they have stepped into a living story. From glamorous cities and timeless villages to volcanic islands and rolling vineyards, Italy isn't just a destination. It is an emotion waiting to be experienced. Our journey begins in a city where fashion meets history, before leading us toward an island shaped by fire and finally into landscapes where nature and tradition have danced together for centuries. At first light, Milan awakens quietly. Golden rays spill across elegant boulevards as cafes prepare their first espresso of the day. Business professionals hurry through ancient streets, while photographers patiently wait for the perfect morning reflection on polished marble. It is a city of contrasts, a place where medieval architecture stands proudly beside futuristic skyscrapers. Many travelers mistakenly see Milan as merely Italy's financial capital. But that would only tell half its story. Founded by the Celtic insuburbs before becoming a major Roman settlement in the 2nd century BC, Milan has witnessed empires rise and fall. During the Renaissance, it flourished under the powerful Sforza family, transforming into one of Europe's great centers of art, science, and innovation. Perhaps nowhere is this legacy more breathtaking than the magnificent Duomo di Milano. Construction began in 1386 and continued for nearly 6 centuries. Today, its soaring Gothic spires, intricate marble carvings, and panoramic rooftop views remain among Italy's greatest architectural achievements. Standing atop the cathedral feels like walking above history itself, where every carved statue seems to watch over the city below. Only a short walk away lies another treasure. Hidden inside the convent of Santa Maria del Grazie is Leonardo da Vinci's legendary masterpiece, The Last Supper, painted between 1495 and 1498. Despite wars, restorations, and centuries of change, this remarkable fresco continues to captivate visitors from around the world. Yet Milan isn't trapped in its glorious past. The Porta Nuova district showcases sleek glass towers, sustainable urban planning, and modern Italian design. Meanwhile, the famous Galleria Vittorio Emanuele II, opened in 1877, remains one of the world's oldest shopping arcades, where luxury boutiques and elegant cafes preserve Milan's timeless sophistication. In 2026, visitors are discovering Milan beyond Fashion Week. Neighborhoods like Brera invite travelers to wander through narrow streets filled with independent galleries, artisan workshops, and charming restaurants, where traditional risotto alla Milanese is served with quiet pride. As evening falls, the city transforms once again. The warm glow of streetlights reflects across elegant plazas, while musicians perform beneath historic arches. Milan reminds every traveler that true beauty isn't found only in monuments, but in the rhythm of everyday life. Yet Italy has only begun to reveal its wonders. Far to the south, beyond the mainland, an island born from fire waits to tell a far older story. Approaching Sicily from the sea feels almost mythical. The silhouette of Mount Etna rises dramatically above the horizon, its volcanic slopes reminding every visitor that nature still shapes this extraordinary island. Europe's largest active volcano has dominated Sicily for hundreds of thousands of years. Rather than fearing it, Sicilians have learned to live alongside Etna, whose rich volcanic soil produces some of Italy's finest vineyards, citrus groves, and olive trees. Few places on Earth possess such an extraordinary mixture of civilizations. The Greeks arrived during the 8th century BC, establishing magnificent cities that rivaled Athens itself. The Romans followed. Then came the Byzantines, Arabs, Normans, Spanish rulers, and many others. Each left behind a chapter. Together, they created one of the richest cultural landscapes in Europe. In the Valley of the Temples near Agrigento, majestic Greek columns still stand proudly beneath the Mediterranean sun after more than 2,000 years. Walking among these ancient ruins feels less like visiting an archaeological site and more like stepping directly into classical history. Meanwhile, Palermo tells an entirely different story. Its bustling markets overflow with fresh seafood, fragrant spices, colorful fruits, and centuries-old recipes influenced by Arab, Norman, and Italian traditions. Every narrow alley reveals hidden churches, magnificent palaces, and vibrant street life that cannot be rushed. Then there is Taormina. Perched dramatically above the Ionian Sea, this elegant hilltop town has inspired artists, writers, and filmmakers for generations. From its ancient Greek theater, visitors enjoy one of Italy's most unforgettable panoramas, where Mount Etna towers above sparkling blue waters in a scene that feels almost unreal. Sicily's coastline is equally mesmerizing. Crystal-clear beaches, hidden coves, dramatic cliffs, and peaceful fishing villages create endless opportunities for exploration. Whether sailing along the coast, tasting freshly caught seafood, or watching the sunset over the Mediterranean, every moment feels deeply connected to nature. In 2026, Sicily continues attracting travelers seeking authentic experiences beyond Italy's famous cities. Cooking classes inside traditional villages, wine tasting on volcanic slopes, boat excursions to the Aeolian Islands, and quiet evenings where conversations linger long after dinner ends. Because here, time seems to move differently. Life slows down.
Thank you.
People gather. Stories are shared. Meals become memories. And every sunset feels like a gentle reminder that life's greatest luxuries are often the simplest. But our journey now leads inland, where rolling hills painted in shades of green and gold have inspired painters, poets, and dreamers for centuries. 8. Tuscany, where every landscape becomes a painting beginning. As dawn breaks across Tuscany, a soft golden mist drifts gently over endless vineyards and ancient olive groves. Cypress trees rise like silent guardians along winding country roads, guiding travelers toward medieval villages that seem untouched by time. Few places capture the romance of Italy quite like Tuscany. This remarkable region became the heart of the Renaissance during the 14th and 15th centuries, nurturing extraordinary minds such as Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, and Dante Alighieri. Their ideas forever changed not only Italy, but the entire world. Yet Tuscany's greatest masterpiece may not hang inside a museum. It stretches across the landscape itself. Every hill, every vineyard, every stone farmhouse appears carefully composed, as though nature and humanity spent centuries creating the perfect canvas together. In Part 2, our journey continues deeper into Tuscany before discovering the breathtaking beauty of Lake Como, the colorful cliffs of Cinque Terre, and the timeless artistic treasures of Florence. The true magic of Tuscany isn't found by rushing from one landmark to another. It reveals itself slowly. Morning sunlight stretches across the vineyards of Chianti, where generations of winemakers have carefully cultivated some of the world's most celebrated wines. Ancient stone farmhouses sit peacefully among olive groves, while narrow country roads weave through hills painted in shades of emerald, gold, and deep green. Every season tells a different story. Spring covers the valleys with colorful wildflowers. Summer fills the countryside with endless fields of sunflowers, dancing beneath bright blue skies. Autumn transforms vineyards into breathtaking shades of crimson and amber, marking the beginning of the grape harvest, a tradition that has united families for centuries. Perhaps nowhere captures Tuscany's timeless beauty better than the Val d'Orcia, a UNESCO World Heritage Site since 2004. This remarkable landscape inspired countless Renaissance artists who believed nature itself reflected divine perfection. Standing here today, it is easy to understand why. Small medieval towns such as San Gimignano continue to rise proudly above the rolling countryside. Known as the town of fine towers, its skyline has remained remarkably unchanged since the Middle Ages. Walking through its stone streets feels like opening a forgotten chapter of history, where every archway and piazza carries echoes of merchants, pilgrims, and artists from centuries past. The city of Siena offers another unforgettable experience. Its magnificent Piazza del Campo hosts the famous Palio di Siena, one of the world's oldest horse races, dating back to the 17th century. More than a sporting event, it represents centuries of neighborhood pride, tradition, and community spirit. In 2026, Tuscany continues attracting travelers who seek authenticity rather than speed. Visitors now choose countryside villas over crowded hotels, local cooking classes over tourist attractions, and peaceful cycling routes through vineyards instead of busy highways. Because Tuscany teaches something increasingly rare in today's world. Sometimes the greatest journey isn't about covering distance. It's about slowing down long enough to truly see where you are. Yet beyond these peaceful hills lies another destination where elegance meets extraordinary natural beauty. Hidden among the foothills of the Italian Alps lies a place so beautiful that it has captivated emperors, artists, writers, and filmmakers for more than 2,000 years. Lake Como doesn't announce its beauty loudly. It whispers it. The lake's deep blue waters reflect towering mountains, elegant villas, and charming villages that appear almost suspended between earth and sky. Every gentle ripple seems to carry stories from another era. Formed during the last ice age nearly 10,000 years ago, Lake Como is one of Europe's deepest lakes, reaching depths of over 400 meters. Its unusual Y-shaped shoreline creates countless hidden coves, peaceful harbors, and breathtaking viewpoints. The town of Bellagio, often called the Pearl of Lake Como, sits gracefully where the lake divides into two branches. Colorful buildings climb gentle hills lined with flowering gardens, boutique cafes, and quiet stone stairways leading toward panoramic terraces. Nearby, Verona offers a quieter charm. Its romantic waterfront, medieval alleys, and centuries-old churches create the feeling of stepping into a beautifully preserved Italian postcard. Elegant villas such as Villa Carlotta and Villa del Balbianello tell another chapter of Lake Como's story. Surrounded by botanical gardens filled with exotic flowers, towering cypress trees, and perfectly sculpted terraces, these historic estates have appeared in numerous international films while preserving their timeless elegance. As evening approaches, golden sunlight slowly disappears behind the alpine peaks. The mountains become silhouettes. The water turns to liquid gold. Small boats drift quietly across the lake, while church bells echo gently through nearby villages. Few places inspire such a profound sense of peace. In 2026, travelers increasingly choose Lake Como not simply for luxury, but for serenity. Electric ferries, lakeside walking paths, boutique accommodations, and sustainable tourism initiatives now allow visitors to experience its beauty while protecting the environment that makes it so extraordinary. Still, Italy has another masterpiece waiting along its rugged coastline. A place where colorful homes cling impossibly to dramatic cliffs above the sparkling Mediterranean Sea. At first glance, Cinque Terre almost feels impossible. Brightly painted houses rise vertically from steep cliffs as though carefully stacked by an artist rather than built by human hands. Below them, Waves crash endlessly against ancient rocks while fishing boats gently sway inside tiny natural harbors. For centuries, these five remarkable villages, Monterosso al Mare, Vernazza, Corniglia, Manarola, and Riomaggiore, remained largely isolated from the outside world. Without modern roads, local communities relied upon steep footpaths and the sea itself to survive. This isolation preserved something incredibly precious: authenticity. The dramatic terraced vineyards climbing the surrounding hillsides represent generations of patient human determination. Every stone wall was built by hand, transforming impossible cliffs into fertile farmland overlooking one of Europe's most spectacular coastlines. Recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1997, Cinque Terre remains one of Italy's greatest cultural landscapes. Walking the famous coastal trails reveals breathtaking scenery at every turn. Turquoise waters shimmer beneath towering cliffs. Lemon trees perfume the sea breeze. Hidden coves invite quiet moments away from the crowds. Every village possesses its own personality. Vernazza charms visitors with its picturesque harbor. Manarola glows beautifully during sunset. Corniglia quietly overlooks the sea from high above the cliffs. Monterosso offers relaxing beaches, while Riomaggiore welcomes travelers with colorful waterfront houses, reflected in calm evening waters. Fresh seafood, handmade pesto, locally produced white wines, and warm conversations define daily life here. Meals are never rushed. Sunsets are never ignored. Life follows the rhythm of the sea. In 2026, carefully managed visitor numbers and sustainable tourism programs help preserve the fragile beauty of this extraordinary coastline for future generations. Because places this special deserve not only admiration, but protection. Yet our journey now continues toward a city where creativity changed the course of human history forever. As the Arno River reflects the first light of morning, Florence awakens much as it has for centuries. Church bells echo across terracotta rooftops. Artists quietly open their studios. The aroma of freshly baked pastries drifts through narrow Renaissance streets. There are cities filled with beautiful buildings. Then there is Florence, a city that reshaped civilization. During the 15th century, under the powerful Medici family, Florence became the birthplace of the Renaissance. It was here that extraordinary minds such as Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, Botticelli, and Brunelleschi transformed art, science, architecture, and human thought forever. The magnificent Cathedral of Santa Maria del Fiore dominates the skyline with Brunelleschi's revolutionary dome, completed in 1436. Even today, it remains one of history's greatest engineering achievements. Nearby, the Uffizi Gallery safeguards masterpieces that continue to inspire millions of visitors from around the globe. Crossing the historic Ponte Vecchio, lined with centuries-old jewelry shops, feels like walking through a living museum where history still thrives in everyday life. Yet Florence offers more than extraordinary monuments. It offers atmosphere. Street musicians perform beneath ancient palaces. Local artisans continue centuries-old traditions of leather craftsmanship and goldsmithing. Small cafes invite travelers to pause, reflect, and simply enjoy the beauty surrounding them. Every corner reveals another masterpiece, waiting quietly to be discovered. But even Florence cannot prepare us for what comes next. Because in Part 3, our journey reaches Italy's most breathtaking destinations, the enchanting